Alright, CS is on, StarSeries is on, got some games today, took a shower, got some tea. Alright, let's see what happens.
And he also knows he needs position!
Whoa!
He actually gets the first one! He's got a chance, he knows Alu's up close, and he sneaks around! Oh, that's what we like from
Nope. Fuck that. Alright, that's...
absolutely loving that one.
You can't beat... Nope, can't beat it. Nope, bye. Sorry guys. Tournament's over, video's over. This tea got cold because I have to reshoot. Makes me depressed. Fuck. Okay. Not Sincere has just won StarSeries Season 7 after a dominant 3-0 over Fnatic in the Grand Finals. Though some would argue that the real Grand Finals came in the quarterfinals against Ence. These guys have been showing us such good series in the times that they meet. I think they're becoming a favorite of mine throughout the year, and I hope that they meet more in tournaments, because currently right now it's a fight for that third spot over who is the best of the rest. One of the first things I actually wanted to note was Vitality. I think Vitality are starting to live up to expectations in terms of what they're capable of. When the roster was first revealed and we saw the caliber of players on that team, you have NBK, you have Apex, you have Ziwu, who was hyped as hell. Everyone thought that this team could be a top 5 team in the world, that it had the potential to be. However, it immediately petered out, and even though they won like a DreamHack Open, they didn't really live up to what we thought was possible for the squad. Though through the past 2 tournaments, we've actually seen a lot of improvement from these guys. They had a really good run at the major, they almost made the playoffs, coming all the way from like, I think the open qualifiers, and then for StarSeries Season 7, they made it to playoffs, taking games off NIP, off of Energy, off of Big, before I think falling in the quarterfinals. But either way, a really good run, and even in their match against Energy, like, they played a really solid game. It wasn't the prettiest of Counter-Strike, as MBK would say himself. It was still really good Counter-Strike to watch, and it was still super fun. So going into my disappointments of the tournament, the first, and I think probably the most obvious, is FaZe. Wow. This squad easily still has the best talent in the world, bar none. In terms of individual talent, you have Adren, Guardian, Olaf, Nico, and Rain. All of these are like star players, but they lose to North, they lose to Renegades, they lose to Ence. These are teams that a team of this star caliber should not be losing to, flat out. And I've criticized FaZe in the past in terms of the fact that they're not picking up an IGL, they're not building a system with all these star players in the wake of Kerrigan leaving. But at the same time, there's still so much potential here. Nico is still playing at an incredible level, and even though this tournament Olaf and Adren looked really lost, I think there's still room to improve. You're just a roster change away from making this the star-studded squad that they were in 2017, 2018. But I mean, come on, you lost to North, dude. Like, you lost to fucking North. Like, hear the roar. Roar! And obviously, I think the other disappointment this tournament was MIBR. We were super pumped when this squad came along that we might see the dominance that we saw in 2017, the battling with FaZe over the first place, and Fur being in incredible form, and Coldzera showing #1 in the world levels again. But we're not seeing that now. Fallen has dropped off the face of the earth. Fur is like gone. Phelps is still being underutilized in like almost every position, and Taco, I mean, I feel bad for him because he left like what is now still like the best North American team in the world, and for this, you know, for failing to make it out of WSG, for failing to make it to playoffs. Oh, they also lost to North. Hear the roar! Alright, so some notable things I wanted to highlight for this tournament was, first off, I think North going from 0-2 to 3-2, beating the likes of FaZe and MIBR. I think those are actual legitimate accomplishments that North can be proud of. I think they've been lacking a good motivational boost for a long time. I think Cadian has been trying so hard to really build this team and build a system for this team. I think it's slowly starting to pay off, though the only asterisk risk on that was that it requires AZ to pop off. And as we all know, AZ is probably the most inconsistent player in the world. He will either pop off and be a top 10 player at the tournament, or he will literally be one of the worst. Where does this take North forward? I think that North have the potential to still be an incredible team. I think they have the players for it. You have Kierby, you have Valde, even AZ when he pops off. But it's all about if they can implement the system and implement the system consistently. I think the other notable moment, for me at least, was Ence and Renegades proving that they're not just flukes. I don't care what you say, Thorin. They're not flukes. They're not flukes. They're not overrated. I mean, yeah, Ence is good, and they did beat some mid teams, but they're still really good. They beat Navi. Shush. Anyway, Ence and Renegades proving that they're not flukes. Renegades made a sick run to the semis, and it was only Ence and Renegades that actually took games off of Navi in the playoff bracket. Ence played an incredible series against Navi and only lost because Simple's a god. Renegades, same story, but either way, I think both these guys are showing not just consistency, but I think their star players are starting to come out of their shell a bit more. I think for Renegades, you have JKS, who's popped off this tournament, was a top 10 player. For Ence, you have different players coming out of the woodwork. You have Sergej, you have Alu, and even Ariel has games too. I think overall what this represents is a nice new blood within the scene. We've never seen an Australian team get this high. We've never seen a Finnish team get this high. And the fact that we're seeing these guys come up and really bringing their own styles to the best in the world is super exciting. I think it's a very, very exciting period for Counter-Strike as a global game. And the other specific notable moment I wanted to highlight was Simple's clutch. The fuck? Jeez, man. Like, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do against this guy? But it's one of those highlights of the year that you just can't beat.
Taking him down, but he found Edward instead. Sergej sitting in the pit, catches off the plant. 14 seconds, they've got to get out. Simple gets only one in return. Jumps up and somehow finds Sergej, but he hasn't found the bomb. He will now. And he goes away from default because he doesn't want to get naded. He also knows there's a flank, and he also knows he needs position. Whoa! He actually gets the first one. He's got a chance. He knows Alu's up close, and he sneaks around. Oh, that's what we like from Simple. The crowd absolutely loving that one.
Simple proves once again he's a god. And I think that's the perfect segue into our notable players of the tournament. First off, being Simple. Proving once again he is a god amongst men, making a case more and more that he's the best player CSGO has ever seen. The fact that he's not only carrying this absolutely insane form from 2018, but carrying it all the way to now through the major and this tournament, it's just, it's hard to fathom. My second notable player on this list will be JKS. I think JKS is one of those players that we always looked at as a player who has tons of potential. We looked at him and we're like, yeah, this dude has the insane skills of an operator. Whether or not he can be consistent and utilize that potential and implement himself into a tactical system. I think Azure has been able to utilize him extremely well, and in this tournament he popped off. He popped the hell off and was just getting so many good impact frags and really just holding down the line with his op. And I'm really excited because JKS was always, again, one of those players that we wanted to see more out of. And if he's the player that's going to take Renegades forward and become a solidified top 5, top 4 level team, and I'm totally down. I'm totally down for JKS, dude. He's sick. Is it just me, or did this tournament feel like it ran forever? It felt like major levels, it felt like I was watching this for fucking ever, dude. And then my last notable player of the tournament will be Valde from North. I think this guy is probably the only breath of hope in terms of star player talent that North has. I think what makes him so interesting is because he's a player who isn't so much like a flashy, Simple-esque player that's looking always to get these insane kills or whatever. No, he's a very positional player. He's a very high IQ player. He has a very sick game sense that, of course, I guess because he's Danish, he's playing in a Danish system, that's only going to be further emphasized. If he can take his form forward and really create a lot of impact for North, I think North can become a much better team overall. But yeah, that's StarSeries Season 7. A pretty good tournament, a pretty long tournament, but essentially this tournament was to prove who was the best of the rest outside of Astralis and Liquid. Good tournament overall, shitty crowd, Unfortunately, I did hear some shitty things from the Renegades coach that crowd was kind of an ass that, you know, made a gratisfaction like just flip off the crowd. So that's gonna be it from me. I'm gonna try and do more stuff like this. Gonna try and shoot more. Gonna try and do more. Just do more. I hope you guys like. Please subscribe. See you guys next time.